You can see their choice at the outset. They're going to run a lot of run. This is the counter series. The running back steps this way, the linebackers go this way, then you've got a guard and tackle pull up through, and it worked. Barry Word, when we talked to him yesterday, I said, how many times would you like to carry it? He said 25 or 30. Well, he's carried it 4 straight times already.
Well, they told us yesterday, you know, Trump, that they're going to try to power the ball right at Houston. Try to stop the Houston run and shoot offense by keeping it off the field. Now, a nice play fake. DeBerg gets it off to his tight end, Jonathan Hayes, and he's ahead for what appears to be a first down. Here's the defensive front of the Houston Oilers: Fuller, Childress, Ezra Johnson, and Sean Jones. The backers are Meads, Smith, and Grimsley, Richard Johnson and Chris Dishman at the corners, McDowell and Kennard are the safeties. When they go to the dime set, the extra DBs that come in are Steve Brown and Patrick Allen.
This is exactly what Kansas City wanted. Very high percentage, low risk, move the chains offense against this defense.
That was the first pass, a short play fake pass. Chiefs getting a break early. They lost the ball, but the play was negated. Now a handoff, and Oilers fill very quickly to make the stick on Barry Word, a 240-pound runner, averaging over 5 yards a carry, 5.4 a pop. A comeback story. If you're not aware of Barry Word, he was a high draft choice of New Orleans. Made a mistake, was in prison in Morgantown, West Virginia for 4.5 months on a cocaine distribution charge. He's lived an exemplary life since. He wrote to 27 teams. Kansas City was the only one that responded, and he has been a terrific player in every aspect. Now the Chiefs with a 2nd down and 9.
Blitz.
DeBerg reading an out pattern, and both receivers, Trump, were breaking in. Rob Thomas and Stephon Page.
There was an audible at the line of scrimmage, Don. We could see that very plainly, but the two receivers just run into each other. Somebody did not get the audible. Chris Dishman is the closest Houston Oiler. He makes an attempt at it. Of course, Steve DeBerg, sensational season, has not thrown an interception in 8 straight football games.
In fact, DeBerg has only thrown interceptions in 1 game. In 12 of the 13 previous games, he has no interceptions. McNair now in the backfield. He's a good pass catcher, swinging out. DeBerg takes a look on 3rd and 9, delivers downfield. And Rob Thomas goes up but can't come down with the ball. Maybe the most sure-handed receiver, but he lost it. He had Kennard, the free safety, beaten. The terrific play faking Trump of Steve DeBerg freezes everybody.
Excellent pattern run. You see the out and up by 81. It just confuses the defense, and then the number one responsibility of the receiver is, yeah, get open, but make sure you catch the football, and DeBerg can't throw it any better than that.
Brian Barker, the punter for KC. The Ice Cube, Gerald McNeil, is back for the Oilers. Living dangerously. KC with excellent special teams. Certainly illustrated there. There was a loss on the return. A 45-yard punt and a -3-yard return. So the Oilers get the ball deep in their own end.
Chevy's got this truck, S10EL. More mileage than a leading import for less money. I said that's more for less. I told Chevy if you tell everybody about it on television, everybody's going to want to do it. The imports will see it. They'll say, hey, we want to do that too. Chevy will say, nope, can't. More for less. That's ours. Then the government will say, maybe we could give the people more for... Nah, more for less. What a concept. Now it's easy to win with the heartbeat of America.
This year, give them one of the legends of the sea. Old Spice aftershave cologne and gift packs. Now being shipped in time for the holidays. So give them the clean, classic scent of Old Spice and celebrate goodwill toward men.
Hard to believe, but that was me, Dan Deerdorf, before I lost 40 pounds in 4 months with Ultra Slim Fast. Hey, I'm a big eater, but with Ultra Slim Fast, I never felt hungry. The plan is easy. I had a delicious shake for breakfast, another for lunch, and then a sensible dinner. I'm back to my college playing weight, and I feel terrific. Best of all, I'm not shaped like one of these anymore.
Ultra Slim Fast. Give us a week. We'll take off the weight.
When you look at the run and shoot, we've got Houston here on the offense, and we refer to something as the count zone. The quarterback, Warren Moon, goes to the line of scrimmage, counts those people from tackle to tackle. If there's 5 in the box, the run and shoot likes to run or throw the short screen. Now, if the defense's choice is to put 6 or 7 in the box, as you can see from tackle to tackle, the quarterback's choice then is to throw. So that's the first consideration for the offense of Warren Moon today.
Counts people close to the line, and here comes the run and shoot with tremendous crowd noise to contend with. Moon, a timing pattern, out ball, and it's dropped. Jeffries had it and lost it. The stick was right on time by cornerback Stan Petrie, number 45.
Well, now it's interesting. We were told by Kansas City that they were going to use bump and run pressure on the wide receivers, the run and shoot receivers all day long with 4 corners. First snap, you can see that there's no bump and run here whatsoever. This is a corner, this is a corner, this is a corner, and they run zone.
Now we come back to live action. 2nd down and 10. Gibbons, 81, dancing in motion. Big rush. Moon delivers the fastball, again looking towards Haywood Jeffires, but it's low, and now it's a long ball offense coming up for the run and shoot. It'll be 3rd down and 10 as we look at the Houston Oilers as they break down in their offensive line. Some great players there. Maggs having a very good year. Munchak's a 5-time Pro Bowl player. Kennison at center. Bruce Matthews, an annual Pro Bowler. And David Williams, a former #1 from Florida. Lorenzo White, the running back behind Warren Moon, has really been coming on. Over 100 yards in 2 of his last 3 games running the ball. Jeffries, Hill, Gibbons, and Duncan.
Kansas City now with 5 defensive backs, and you can see how quickly this run and shoot offense has started throughout this season.
Run and shoot needs 10 yards here. Downfield throw, and a connection is made, and the Oilers have a 1st down. And for 3rd straight play, the ball is gunned out to Haywood Jeffires, and this time he makes the connection with it. It's a good play for a 1st down, 16 yards, but Jeffries was shaken up, and he's all right.
Looked like Petrie dropped the coverage. You see, again, with the cornerback looking in at the quarterback, you know that it's zone coverage, and Petrie just gives Jeffries too much of a cushion. And see, that's one of the things about the run and shoot. You make your choice defensively who you're going to cover. The run and shoot can sit there and look at it and find the open receiver.
Jeffries is a former #1 draft choice of North Carolina State. He's the biggest target, over 6'2". Moon on 1st down. Again, he gets it downfield to Jeffries, who's inside the 45 and inside the 40 and down to the 35-yard line of Kansas City. So Warren Moon, whose team was blown out here last year, losing 34-0 to the Chiefs, comes out with the hot hand.
The only guy that Warren Moon has looked at so far is 84. Petrie again, very poor coverage. And all these receivers for Houston, they get open, but they are excellent runners of the ball after they catch it. That's a 30-yard pickup.
When they spot the ball, it is indeed a 30-yard pickup. And the ball is positioned at the 35-yard line. No score 1st quarter, but the Oilers moving it nicely after a couple of errant throws to start the game. White blasts ahead, and Lorenzo White has 12 yards and another Oiler 1st down. So one of the things, Trump, that Houston's doing with all this offense early is taking a very demonstrative Kansas City crowd out of the game, at least for the moment.
Yeah, once again, the quarterback counts in the box, and you can see right here there are 4 guys there, so they run the trap up the middle with Lorenzo White, who in the last 4 or 5 weeks has been an emerging star for this run and shoot offense. Early part of the season, all you're worried about is the receivers. Now you got to worry about the run part of the run and shoot too.
Oilers already in field goal range. 1st down throw in the end zone. Touchdown. Coming down with the ball is Tony Jones, the fastest Oiler, a Longhorn from Texas. And the Oilers go on the board first with a 24-yard scoring throw the 30th touchdown pass of the season for NFL leader Warren Moon.
The Kansas City Chiefs had 6 defensive backs. You see Cherry 20 in zone coverage, but Warp Speed Jones just outruns J.C. Pearson. Now, Houston has already recognized that the starting cornerbacks are on the inside, so their choice is go to the outside receivers. Another feature of the run and shoot. There's just no way to stop everything out there.
And there's an awful lot to look at. And now the point after by Teddy Garcia is up and good. Garcia has been a very effective place kicker since joining the team. Tony Jones now has 5 touchdown receptions in this his rookie year.
Mismatch. Jeffries is cleaning his clock, so they got to put somebody else out there on it.
Warren Moon has 8 300-yard passing days this season. Well on his way to a 9th, and if he gets one, he'll tie the NFL record set by Marino in '84. First and 10, Houston, Lorenzo White. Chiefs are there to knock him down, a gain of just 3. As we look at the defensive front 7 of the Kansas City Chiefs, Neil Smith, Sally Amua, and Bill Maas across the front. Martin, rookie, Percy, Snow, Hackett, and Thomas. Very good backers. Very strong unit. And the 4 corners we've talked about starting the game, trying their best, but so far not successfully, to defend the run and shoot. Petrie, Lewis, Ross, and Pearson.
Yeah, they're now going with 6 defensive backs.
I think they're doubling up, Trump, those inside receivers, Hill and Givens, because Jeffries has been singled the whole game, and that's where Moon has gone virtually every throw. Excepting the touchdown throw to Tony Jones. And now with markers down, Warren Moon goes down at the 42-yard line.
That's offside against Kansas City.
Neil Smith, huh?
Yeah, Moon called the audible, and it looked like Lorenzo White did not get the call. He went the wrong way.
Haywood Jeffires with a big start. 3 catches for 60 yards. Warren Moon has hit 4 of 6 throws for 85 yards and a touchdown.
You can see the right tackle rock back a little bit. I don't know if they'll call it, but it's David Williams, 73, and that drew Neil Smith off the line of scrimmage. Now the officiating crew is going to decide who's going to do what.
That was definitely on Williams, it looked like from here. Red Cashin is the referee.
Yeah, but see, Don, when an offensive lineman is in a 2-point stance, he can move if he's set a second before the ball is snapped. Neil Smith jumped off sides. There's Jack Pardee, the head coach. This team, by the way, Houston, the most penalized team in the NFL, number-wise, not yardage-wise, but now watch the offensive tackle. See him just rock back, but when he sets again, that should be legal from a 2-point stance.
Illegal motion, number 73 on the offense.
Good call. So a big 300-pound offensive tackle, David Williams from the University of Florida. And you see the penalty yardage. And that'll set the Oilers back a bit. They lead the game 7-0 with 6:40 to play in the first quarter. 24-yard touchdown throw. Warren Moon to rookie Tony Jones.
73, that penalty is declined. 3rd down.
The 58 points the Oilers scored last week in routing the Browns, the most ever scored by a Houston team. Coach Schottheimer's team is in the throes of a win streak. Chiefs come in 9-4, tied for first in the AFC West with the Raiders, who go later today against the Bengals, a game many of you will see here on NBC. On 3rd and 14. Warren Moon gets time. Jeffries is open, and he makes the play inside the 30-yard line. Deron Cherry, a 6-time All-Pro safety, came across and made the hit. But again, they go to Jeffries, and again, he connects with the ball.
There's a flag down on the plane. I think that's the defense. The hard count by Warren Moon drew him off, so they'll take the catch. Jeffries' 4th of the day.
Offside. Number 63, number 58 of the defense. Penalty is declined. First down.
The Chiefs in their frustration, Trump, trying to get a jump on Warren Moon, leaving early.
Watch the left-hand side of the screen. That's the good hard count. And then great protection by the offensive line And a 32-yard completion for Haywood Jeffires on top of a 30-yard completion. His 4th of the day. He's getting close to 100 yards already in the first quarter.
So far, Kansas City's defense back on its heels against the run and shoot. The fast break football offense of the Houston Oilers, the best offense in the NFL.
Again, it's Petrie, and that's a zone again, and he just finds the seam in the zone. This looks like the double rotation zone. I think they're reviewing this catch, but that's contact that moved him out of bounds. Right over Petrie's head, right outside of Burris. Yeah, the replay official will allow that as a catch because he was forced out of bounds. He's now got 5 catches, 93 yards, Haywood Jeffires does.
Coach Pardee was openly optimistic about his team's chances when we met with him yesterday. He said they've had the best week of practice on both sides of the ball, offense and defense, since he's been the head coach. This, of course, his first year with the Oilers.
After review by the replay official, we have a reversal.
Oh, you got to be kidding. No, that can't be. You're telling me that if there's no contact, by what they're saying is if there's no contact with Deron Cherry, that he comes down out of bounds. That's impossible. We can look at that all day. There is no way in the world Jeffries comes down out of bounds without the contact made by the safety, Deron Cherry.
Haywood Jeffires is furious, and from every indication on the replay, he has every reason to be. Watch.
All right, does he have control of the football? Yes. Oh, that's got to be a catch. That has to be a catch. And this is a perfect instance for the instant replay to look at it, and that cannot be overruled.
Behind an opaque mirror or window sits the
They will
replay.
be enforced 5 yards, and it's 3rd down.
I can't imagine why that is not a catch. Under any and all circumstances.
He had the ball all the way.
The catch is there. There is no way. They're saying he did not have possession.
Ball came out after he hit the ground, but it is a reversal. Originally a 32-yard gain, and now the ball is back to the 46-yard line. 3rd down and almost 9. Boom. Taken down, the free ball, and the Chiefs have it. Thomas comes up with the ball. You see Warren Moon has big problems fumbling when he's been sacked.
It looked like Bill Moss, 63, beats the left guard, and Thomas is right on the football. Boy, what a break for Kansas City.
32nd time this season that Warren Moon has been sacked, and the 17th time he's lost it, fumbling when he's been sacked. And of course, the Chiefs are #1 in the NFL. They are now plus 25 on takeaways. They've got to be heading towards a record number in that giveaway takeaway, Marshall.
That's 63 on 63. Bill Moss on Mike Munchak. He gets the sack. Thomas gets the fumble recovery. All this after the Houston Oilers get a completed pass, in my estimation.
By the replay official, the play stands. 1st down.
Kansas City has been given a real break here. They've got to take advantage of this.
Look at that. Absolutely remarkable. The defense gets the ball, and what it also does is shortens the field for the offense, those turnovers. And here comes Barry Word, a power run to the right. And he's down inside the 35-yard line of Houston and down to the 33, where defensive tackle Ray Childress and middle linebacker Al Smith knocked him down. Word is playing with a couple of sore shoulders. Okoye out with a bad shoulder. Lamar Lathan, a rookie, now is in the lineup, playing linebacker for the Oilers as they go back to Word. Richard Johnson finally rode him down, a cornerback, number 23. Getting some big blocks from Lutz, the right guard, and Baldinger, the right tackle, along with Jonathan Hayes, the tight end.
You know, Don, in talking to the Chiefs offensive coaches, they're certainly going to miss Christian Okoye, but they like Word because he bounces it more. He's a little more mobile than is Christian Okoye. Okoye is a load straight ahead. Word gets outside a little better.
Back to Word, and another marker comes in. Fired in by the umpire, who stands in there with the linebackers looking at the quarterback, and a holding call often against the tight end. An offensive holding call is signaled by Red Cashin. Ezra Johnson was on the tackle, the 14-year veteran, number 90, a former
Holding,
Packer.
number 72 on the offense.
That time they got
Still
the right
first
guard,
down.
David Lutz.
He's got Ezra Johnson, number 90. Just grabbed a hold of his arm there, it looked like.
Kansas City Chiefs have won 4 straight games. They win today, they'll have their longest win streak in 19 years. First down, back to Word. He takes a stick hard from Al Smith. The Oilers' number 1 tackler, the big middle linebacker, a 450-pound bench presser, Al Smith. Second down arises now for the Chiefs as we look at the 10-minute ticker. Miami and Seattle now tied up 3-3 at Joe Robbie Stadium. Tampa Bay continues to lead the Vikings 7-0. Dallas scored on an Emmitt Smith run. Extra point no good. Jets scored an O'Brien pass. And here at Kansas City, the Oilers scored on their first possession, marching downfield. Warren Moon to Tony Jones from 24 yards out. 7-0 Houston. Kansas City with second down and 20 coming up. Pressure was on quarterback Steve DeBerg as he was looking again to Rob Thomas. Johnny Meade's a blitzer putting some heat on.
You know, the Houston Oilers' choice is kind of a delayed blitz. Here's Johnny Meads. He comes in late and just puts enough pressure on Steve DeBerg that he can't really put anything on this football. And Thomas is out there, runs a good out route, but DeBerg has got to throw it just a little prematurely. Can't make the completion.
And a blitz last Sunday, Trump, by Johnny Meads right up the middle. Forced Kosar into an errant throw, and the Browns were driving to open the game. And Howard ran it back 47 yards. Soon after, the Oilers scored, and the route was on. Third down at 20. Markers down all over, and the play's whistled dead. Sean Jones gets a shirt full of Steve DeBerg.
Rich Baldinger, offensive right tackle.
False start. Number 77 on the offense. Still third down.
You can see him move prematurely, of course. Now, when you're up in a 2-point stance in the tackle in these obvious pass situations, you're hoping to hear the snap count, but sometimes you don't. And you want to get a jump on anybody that you got to pass protect out there, and that's why they come out of that stance a little early.
Elway and the Broncos had real problems running their offense last week here at Arrowhead because of the crowd noise. DeBerg on 3rd and 25. And down goes Steve DeBerg at the 46-yard line. William Fuller with a bull rush, a power rusher from the left end position. Gets his 8th. Now he has 8.5 sacks this season.
Now, it's interesting. We just saw a penalty on the right tackle Baldinger because he was quick off the ball. And this time Fuller runs right around Baldinger and makes the sack. He wasn't even touched by Baldinger.
4th and 31 sends out the punter. Ryan Barker hits it downfield. Barker down again in the backfield. Right around where the ball was punted.
Yeah, that's running into the punter, but that's only a 5-yard penalty.
Said no first down, Red Cash. You could see him mouthing that. Defenses will gamble and go for the block when it's a long yardage play because they can take the chance, run into the punter. It's not ruled a foul where they injured him, then it can be a first down if it's a personal foul. If it's just running into him, it's 5 yards.
That's correct.
Running into the kicker, number 51 on the defense. Invalid fair catch signal on the defense.
So they kick it again.
McNeil was very late making his fair catch signal.
Marty Schottenheimer is trying to officiate there. There's the very quick fair catch signal by the Ice Cube.
Here's Red Cassia now.
Running into the kicker is the Klein. The invalid fair catch signal by 89 is accepted. It'll be a 5-yard penalty. First down.
Okay.
Chiefs will take field position. Ball will be positioned inside the 20-yard line when we come back.
These people are about to become winners during Chevrolet Geo wintertime.
Sir, what is the best-selling line of cars and which trucks are more people switching to?
Starts with C.
Chevy.
Brilliant. You can win with cash back or low financing. Miss, who has the most fuel-efficient line of cars and trucks in America?
I know this.
Getting to know you.
Gee, oh.
Yes, Geo, you can win with a first-time buyer bonus.
I knew that.
You too can be a winner during wintertime at your Chevy Geo dealer.
Fathom Cologne. For men of motion, whose emotions run deep. Fathom. For men of motion, whose thoughts run deep. Fathom. For men of motion, whose feelings run deep. Fathom. A fresh, new, thrilling cologne. Fathom for men whose emotions run deep. Fathom. Cologne for men.
They say drink plenty of fluids. Swallowing's total pain.
To stop sore throat pain fast, Advanced Formula Chloraseptic has the power of phenol. It penetrates nerve endings to work on contact, so it gives the fastest relief. And nothing lasts longer. Advanced Formula Chloraseptic works fastest, and nothing lasts longer. For fast relief when you're away from your spray, also try great-tasting Chloraseptic lozenges.
The Bengals. The Raiders. Boomer and Bo. Next.
The Houston Oilers begin their second drive now. Their first went right down the field for a touchdown early in the first quarter. This one starts deep in their own end. Actually, their third drive. Last one, the fumble turned it over. First drive took it into the end zone, and now Warren Moon goes to the run and shoot again. Timing pattern down the sideline. On the fly is Tony Jones, and he's ahead for a gain all the way out to the 38-yard line. This kid just blows by cornerbacks. Kennard says you don't know how fast he is until you line up and try to run with him. It doesn't show up on film how fast he is.
Well, I can't imagine why J.C. Pearson is not trying to get a bump on this kid. Just to slow him up a little bit, just maybe to get him off stride. But it looks like Warren Moon has already determined who he's going to, and Jones beats Pearson again. Well, the outside receivers in this run and shoot going up and down the field for Houston.
Tony Jones isn't big, 5'7". Those short legs can really piston pump down the field. Here is a quick out now. They're looking at Drew Hill, and Warren Moon under pressure had to release the ball quickly. Now, while we have a moment, let's go to New York and NFL Live. Here's Bob Costas. Bob.
All right, Don, the Jets lead at home over Indianapolis 14-3. Here's the first of their 2 touchdowns. Ken O'Brien to the rookie out of Syracuse. Rob Moore off the play-action fake. Loads of time, gets him near the back of the end zone. Moments later, Brad Baxter scores on a 1-yard run. Jets 14, Colts 3.
Thank you, Bob. 2:49 to go in the first quarter here at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Oilers lining up, second down and 10. Trips formation, 3 wide receivers left. They go left. Haywood Jeffires has his man beaten, and he's not done as he's across the 45-yard line and down close to the 39. As Jeffries could be having a career day, just eating up the Kansas City defense.
This isn't much of a route. I mean, you know, Petrie's not even looking at the quarterback. That's bump and run coverage. He doesn't get a very good bump on Jeffries, and I think Jeffries is now over 100 yards receiving. We're still in the first quarter.
He is indeed. 4 catches, 105 yards. He's getting singled by Petrie, and Petrie can't match up. They're giving a lot of attention with some linebacker help on those inside receivers. Gibbons and Hill. First down, Oilers. Screen pass. Lorenzo White can't hold the ball. Errant throw. White doing his best to get to it. He's a good pass catcher, Lorenzo White's caught 30 coming into this game. Seattle now up on the Dolphins 10-3 in the second quarter. Derek Finner on a 2-yard touchdown run for the Seahawks, a fast rising team. Miami, if they should lose, is still very much in the playoff hunt. The Bills went 12-2, as you know, yesterday. Jets extending their lead, as have the Cowboys. Cowboys leading by 10 over the Cardinals. Warren Moon on 2nd down and 10. Sack number 18 for Derek Thomas. Second in the NFL to Bruce Smith.
Second sack of the day for Kansas City. Good coverage that time by Kansas City's defensive backs. Primary receiver was not open, neither was the secondary. There's Thomas on Maggs, and you can see the offensive line does a good job. This is a coverage sack, and for one of the few times today, Kansas City Chiefs coverage was good.
Now big down and a long down for the Houston Oilers. 3rd down, and they need 16. From the 46. Out pattern, Lorenzo White puts on a move. But the Chiefs hem him in well short of the first down. He's taken down to the 38-yard line. Kevin Ross, the guy they call Little Marvin Hagler, the right side cornerback, 31. Not big, but he's tough. And Chris Martin is also on the plane. He appears to be down, as Warren Moon is now over 4,000 yards for this 1990 season.
That's the linebacker, Chris Martin. This is a little outlet pass to Lorenzo White. Good coverage again downfield. This is the way that Detroit uses Barry Sanders. You see Martin makes contact with his own player, Sali Amua. And Martin still on the ground.
Marty Schottenheimer telling us yesterday that Chris Martin is one of the most underrated linebackers in the NFL. He comes into this game with 5 sacks for the Chiefs. He's recovered 2 fumbles. He's forced 2. He's a constant at outside linebackers. Coming up next, NBC Sports presents more great football action in Game 2 of our NFL doubleheader. Most of you will see the Bengals meet the Raiders in a battle of 2 division leaders. The Bengals need a win to remain in first place in the AFC Central, while Bo and the Raiders also covet a victory to hold on to a share of the lead in the AFC West with KC. Others will see the Chargers meet the Broncos. Check local listings for the game in your area. That's all coming up next, except for those in the Los Angeles area, here on NBC Sports.
Now Martin finally getting up. Now one of the aspects of this run and shoot offense is how few times the punter for Houston, Greg Montgomery, has actually punted the ball. But watch Sali Amua in 97 and Martin make contact. Whoa, that's a heck of a headshot right there. And Martin very slow in getting up. He appears to be all right. As I said, Greg Montgomery with just 27 punts on the season won't even qualify for the punting numbers, and he has a Pro Bowl clause in his contract. He won't even make the list of punters eligible for the Pro Bowl. This kid's one of the best there is in the league.
Yeah, almost 45 a try. J.J. Birden is back deep now for Kansas City, standing at his 10-yard line. It's a 7-0 game with 38 seconds to play in the first quarter. The clock running. Houston in the lead.
Too much time taken by Houston.
Well, the way Montgomery hits it, Trump, he probably wants the yardage off. He can boom it a long way. sometimes the defense will refuse it.
Delay of the game by the offense. Still 4th down.
Well, every time you punt against Kansas City, you got to identify where Albert Lewis is.
Chiefs have blocked 6 kicks this year. And Lewis is the main blocker. He's out wide left right now. That's Albert Lewis, number 29. Looking to block on Dishman, is going down to cover the punt. Nicely hit by Montgomery inside the 5. It takes a hop up in the air and stays in bounds, but it's going to be a touchback now.
Bo Orlando played it perfectly. Chris Dishman took it into the end zone. Bo Orlando came back out of the end zone. He could have downed it at the 1-foot line. Now watch what happens. See 26 come back out of the end zone. Once he reestablishes himself in the field of play, he can down the ball at the 1-foot line, but Dishman carries it in, so it comes out to the 20. Orlando realizes, oh, so close.
Dishman blew that one. That was perfect special teams play by the Oilers till Dishman grabbed it and ran it in for reasons known but to him. It is now 1st down and 10 for Kansas City. Word running right again and taken down at the 22-yard line. The game clock is down to 1 second to play, and there's the gun. That ends the first quarter of play. So after the first 15 minutes, the underdog Oilers on the road hold a 7-0 lead.
Some people see shaving as something you do for 3 minutes a day. At Braun, we see it as something you do for a lifetime. And we think you should make the best of it. The Braun shaver, with its 3 shaving positions. Designed for those who choose to make a virtue out of necessity. Braun, the world's #1 selling foil shaver.
When you're out street hiking, you better know how to read the terrain. Do your best to preserve the wildlife, because street hikers don't just walk, they hike. Fresh shoes, Joe.
You know, Ace is a place for all kinds of holiday stuff.
Stuff?
From the tree and all the trimmings
Oh, we
to
have
the right stuff to put under it.
This Ace Ultra Brute flashlight with alkaline batteries, only $366, and a Polaroid high-grade video 3-pack, just $888.
When it's time for ho, 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 Ace is the place for me.
Thrill of their lifetime and yours. The NBA on NBC.
Barry Word has been a big load for the Kansas City offense. He's run the ball 7 times for 30 yards. There's his mom, Patsy Word, up from Virginia, watching her son on his first starting day in the NFL for the Kansas City Chiefs. As mentioned earlier, Christian Okoye is not in uniform, out with a bad shoulder. Kansas City game plan was to power the ball with Barry Word getting carry after carry and try to keep the run and shoot off the field. The run and shoot has been out there long enough to build a 7-0 lead. On the razor-sharp passing of Warren Moon, the TD throw Tony Jones in the first quarter. Word again on 2nd down. And there's a loss of a couple of yards, a 2nd and 6 play. Barry Word now downed outside his 20-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down and about 8. The linebacker John Grimsley was the first guy to get him.
Don, this is the best rushing defense in the American Football Conference, the Houston Oilers. And they this year have gone to a 4-man front, and they kind of offset their linebackers. And because of that, they're in pursuit. There's Mom. She's seen him carry the ball a lot. Yeah, she's going to root for him no matter if he makes 20 or loses 2.
Well, she's had a lot of sons that have been good football players. Barry is the youngest of her 5 sons. A lot of those Chiefs were excited about Mrs. Word was going to cook yesterday. Apparently she's one of the best. Here's a downfield throw. Thomas signals he was interfered with, but there's no call against the Oilers. It's got to be close. Dishman apparently was there right on time.
Don, Houston comes with the all-out blitz, so this is single coverage. Dishman on Thomas. He cuts out. Boy, it does look like there's contact there, but no flag. Incidental contact. Both receiver and defender going for the football.
Barker to punt again. Hits a good one downfield. Ball turns over on a spiral. McNeil at his 33. And again, a wave of red brings him under, this time at the 35-yard line. Martin, who is shaken up, right back in there to make the tackle on special teams. So the run and shoot. Moon ready to pull the trigger coming out.
No matter where you look, there's Mazda. We're introducing new products like the Miata, setting new sales records, winning the respect of the automotive press, and winning awards for both quality and customer satisfaction. But most important, we're making thousands of people feel just right.
Wild thing. It is a wild thing. Oh, come shout and sing, join in the ring. It could be queen or it could be king. You go your way and I'll go mine. As long as you just make it fine.
The good times roll with the clean, fresh taste of Bud Light. It won't fill you up, never let you down.
Wild thing. Wild thing.
Citizen, 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 elegant citizen, citizen, elegance. Oh, his citizen, citizen, one citizen with lots of citizen, elegant, elegant, perfectly elegant citizen. We've got elegance.
This is how easy it is to collate a mailing on an IBM laser printer. And how easy is it to collate with our major competitor? Probably now isn't the best time to ask. IBM laser printers. Suddenly, nothing else measures up.
Houston Oilers defensive coordinator Jim Eddy riding furiously on the sideline there. He's look at great series selling to his defense. He's identifying 1st and 10. They went 2-1-2, which is 2 wides, 2 tights, 1 running back, trips. 2nd and 7, same formation. 3rd and 7, 4 wides. He's telling his defense what they're seeing out there.
That's, you know, Eddy is a very spirited guy, as you know, Trump, and a very underrated part of this Oiler team. They're number 1 in offense. You all hear about that, but they're also number 8 in the entire NFL on defense. And the Oilers are number 1 in defense against the run. Lorenzo White. Good move as White takes it to the 40-yard line on a 1st down carry. He got 4. Cornerback Kevin Ross, number 31, tackled him.
Kansas City's doing an excellent job here of confusing the count by Warren Moon. We talked about the count zone or in the box. Watch what happens when this guy jumps out, this guy jumps in. They're going to call the run, but they've got too many guys to block there, and it ruins the play. See, they've got 7 guys at the line of scrimmage, and that's why the run gains very little yardage.
2nd down and 5 when the ball is spotted now.
Should throw here.
Moon timing throw. He's got a man on the dead run as Curtis Duncan inside the 35-yard line. They'll start him down at the 35 as Warren Moon makes another perfect throw. Absolute excellence delivering the ball. Tight spiral, a perfect lead.
No bump here by J.C. Pearson. He lets Duncan go. If you're going to pressure these guys at the line of scrimmage or run man-to-man, you've got to get a bump on them just to take them off stride. Duncan gets up limping a little bit. Tony Jones is in the ball game, but the outside receivers in the run and shoot just tearing up this Kansas City defense.
Houston looking as good as they can.
Should run.
They can look great. Run it is, Trump, as they made the count inside, and now Lorenzo White cuts back, and he's going to get a 1st down carry, but yet a marker comes in after the play. J.C. Pearson, a cornerback, finally ran him out. White's a big back, over 220 pounds, but very quick with a lot of speed, and he likes to get the ball a lot.
Last week, he ran the ball 18 times for 116 yards and 4 touchdowns. And
holding number 73 on the offense. Still 1st down.
David Williams. Again at the line of scrimmage. The run and shoot counts people from tackle to tackle. You count them at the line of scrimmage. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they believe they can block them and run, and that's what they attempt to do. Lorenzo White on the big cutback But right at the end of the play, David Williams caught on the hold, so it's 1st and 20.
Very good second look at how it operates. Our producer today for NBC is Terry Ewert. Our director, Andy Rosenberg. Executive producer, Terry O'Neill. We're coming to you from Arrowhead Stadium, Kansas City. Warren Moon drops to throw on 1st and long, and he's on the run. He can go. And now Moon wisely takes it down at the 40-yard line. Gain back about 6. Bring up 2nd, close to 14.
Well, you can see Moon again. He already knows his intention, but the coverage is good, so he's got to come out of the pocket. And then smartly he goes to the hook slide. I want to make contact with Kevin Ross, Chris Martin.
See the total offense. The Oilers dominant. Their lead is 7-0. We have 11:20 to play in the first half. Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy at Arrowhead Stadium. Oilers were beaten here last year by the Chiefs 34-0. Moon, another perfect throw. This time Givens comes down with the ball. They'll spot his forward progress at the 33-yard line. Short of a first down.
First catch by one of the inside guys today, Don.
We're told the ticker's coming. Is that the ticker? There's the ticker. 10-minute ticker. And New Orleans still trailing Pittsburgh now 3-0 in the second quarter. Seattle an underdog leading at Miami. Tampa Bay extending its lead over the Vikings to 13-0. Dallas still up by 10. Jets still up by 11 over the Colts. They're down an 8 for Houston. Another beautifully thrown ball. This time it's Drew Hill, and he is going to have a first down for the Houston Oilers at the 23-yard line of the Chiefs. This Petrie Trump's having a problem covering.
Yeah, that also, Hill came from the inside, and Kansas City made it appear to be man-to-man and then dropped back into zone. Now watch Duron Cherry. He's dropping to the outside to watch Jeffries over here. And 31, you just saw in the corner of the screen, Kevin Ross also dropped out in zone, just a little square out. And you can begin to see some of the frustration setting in on the Kansas City defense. Should throw. Whoa.
White on a delayed draw to the 20-yard line. Making the stop was Derek Thomas.
Yeah, again, Don, Kansas City very late in moving guys up to the line of scrimmage, and the count was wrong for Warren Moon after he made the audible. He audible to the run, and they had 7 guys at the line of scrimmage, and they're able to make the tackle. That's Griffin, 98, on the tackle.
Warren Moon, who has started the last 2 Pro Bowls, heading towards another one, and Lorenzo White really coming on now in his 3rd year out of Michigan State. He's finally getting the work and delivering the product. A workman-like back. The more he gets it, the more he likes it. Now Warren Moon with good speed takes it inside the 20. And Moon, an excellent athlete, not only throwing the ball, but also running with it, gets inside the 20-yard line on 2nd down. Moon has hit 6 different receivers today, Trump.
And the big guys have been on the outside. Again, good coverage by Kansas City. They're confusing Warren Moon's first read with the extra defensive backs and with the extra defensive linemen and linebackers. And it's going to bring up 3rd down and very short. Chris Martin kind of pulls off on him, doesn't want to take a cheap shot at Warren Moon. You see how much he's run the ball.
Moon with a timing throw to Givens on an out pattern. Moon is one of the few that's able to throw accurately off his back foot. He's almost impossible to defense.
Especially in his offense.
He makes decisions so quickly. The 4 wideouts break. He takes a look, checks them all, and zing, the ball's there.
That's the first true blitz that I've seen Kansas City run today. 58 Thomas on the outside. And again, giving Warren Moon a misread, results in the field goal attempt by Garcia.
He's hit 6 of his last 7. Drives this one through effortlessly. And the Houston Oilers extend their lead over the favored Kansas City Chiefs to 10-0 with 8 minutes and 13 seconds left to play in the first half.
What is the image of a rebel? These are the images of a rebel. Canon's revolutionary new autofocus EOS Rebel. So easy to use, you can stop taking snapshots and start taking photographs. Rebel, rebel.
Image is everything.
EOS Rebel from Canon. So advanced, it's simple.
It may have been 30 years ago, or just yesterday, a roadster caught your eye, and you've never been quite the same. The Mazda Miata.
It just feels right.
One day there was just too much gray. I thought, should I or shouldn't I? I didn't. I was afraid it might look phony. I wanted natural-looking color, and I wanted to do it right, with no pouring and mixing. Nobody else could give me what I wanted until Clairol Option Instant for Men. I figured if it's from Clairol, I could trust it. I could. I went from gray to my natural-looking color in 5 easy minutes. My hair looks great, feels great. When I look in the mirror, I don't see gray. I see me.
Do it right with Option, also in gradual formula.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Mazda Cars and Trucks. Mazda, it just feels right. By Canon, photographic consultant to the National Football League. By Hickory Farms, the gift everyone loves to get. And by Bud Light, everything else is just a light.
The Houston Oilers, in a game that their all-pro defensive tackle Ray Childress called the most important I've played since I've come here, have taken a 10-0 lead. Now the kickoff. Todd McNair runs it back. He's a good make-a-miss kind of runner. Big, but he has a stutter step. And finally, Eric Fairs, a linebacker for the Oilers, knocks him down across the 25-yard line.
So far in this game, you can see the frustration of the Chiefs offense, but they've had their chances. They had Rob Thomas open, and he couldn't make the completion. And they also had Jones out in the flat, and they couldn't make the completion. And you can't run this against the Houston Oilers in the run and shoot and expect to compete. There's Christian Okoye on the sideline.
What a terrific player. What a terrific person. Well, unfortunately, and no one's more disappointed than he is, he can't help his Chiefs today on the sideline with a bad shoulder. High set now. They go to a power run formation. Word with a lead blocker, and Barry Word carries again for plus yardage out to the 34-yard line. Al Smith got him.
Don, you mentioned that Kansas City goes to the power run formation. They don't have any choice. This is their style of offense. They're running to the two tight inside. 85 is Jonathan Hayes. 87 is Alfredo Roberts. And they have to stay with their game plan, which is the power run game, and then hopefully they can get the play action pass, a deep throw to Stephon Page to get back in the game.
Second down and short. See what DeBerg does here. Late call that quarterbacks like. He hands off. And it looks like it'll be very close to the first down as again they go to Barry Word. He is hit by a couple of linebackers, 57 Lamar Lathan and the omnipresent 54 Al Smith, the middle backer.
Al Smith is coming off with an injury. Something wrong with his hand or wrist or something. He's coming to the sideline. Meads is going back in. That's it. Tough guys like linebackers, when they walk off the field like that, defensive coaches cringe.
It takes something that really hurts to get him off the field. Now the Chiefs break the huddle with the ball at their 37. They've not sustained offense yet today. They've not had a sustained drive. They've not been close to points. Word runs it again, takes on tacklers, and gets out to the 43-yard line. Grimsley, a veteran linebacker from Kentucky, who doesn't get much acclaim, but he makes those consistent plays, always in position. Number 59, John Grimsley.
Watch the hit that Word puts on him. Grimsley gets off the block. Boom, right there. Boy, they both stand up straight.
That's some of that 1-2.
And there's Mom. She likes to see helmets crack. Word now 11 carries, 46 yards.
She's raised a lot of those football players. He had a couple of brothers that played at the University of Virginia as he did. Barry Word all day long. It's a one-trick pony, this Kansas City offense today.
Well, it has been when Christian Okoye has been the running back, too. Marty Schottenheimer is very, very smart here. Even though he's down 10-0, he's not getting out of his game plan yet. And I think there is a tendency down 10-0 to the run and shoot that you do get out of your game plan. See, Lutz 72 pulls, 43 Jones leads. Barry Word right up behind it for a nice first down pickup.
From pretty soon they're going deep to Stephon Page. Dishman knows that he's playing way off him. Page has 2 80-yard plus touchdowns. Here's Page now trying to turn upfield. The ball is stripped and out of bounds. It'll be Kansas City ball.
You called it.
Yeah, they're good. He's just too big a threat to stay quiet. Stephon Page, he's caught touchdown passes this year from DeBerg of 83 and 86 yards.
Just a hitch pattern run by Page. Just a little change up. This is almost like a long handoff. Dishman strips it loose, but it bounces out of bounds. Remains Kansas City Chiefs ball. And Page is trying to make a big play out of this. Good hand strength there by Chris Dishman.
Kansas City down to the underdog Oilers 10-0 with 4:47 to play in the first half. Oilers scored on their opening possession when Warren Moon just carved up the pass defense of Kansas City. Finally hitting Jones on a 24-yard scoring throw. Tony Jones.
Looks like the play is going to be reviewed. Houston certainly didn't get it. That's Bubba McDowell, 25, who shoved the ball out of bounds. I'm not sure what they're reviewing, but maybe the spot where the ball should be marked. But a conference by Red Cashin and his crew.
Coach Pardee and Coach Schottenheimer, 2 former standout linebackers. Marty Schottenheimer was a first-team All-American at the University of Pittsburgh as a linebacker. Jack Pardee out of Texas A&M played 15 years in the NFL. The Rams and the Redskins.
His second foot was down. It was definitely a reception and a fumble out of bounds. Both feet are down.
Under review, continue play, second down.
Okay, thank you.
Stays like it was, and the ball is positioned at the 43-yard line. Chiefs have it now, second down and 3. Our formation, the second back through is Barry Word. Head down, he gets the first down. Lamar Lathan was on the play. Penalty markers down.
Holding Kansas City. Oh, and you've got a conservative offense. Penalties are just death.
Holding number 85 on the offense. Still second down.
Tight end Jonathan Hayes.
Second and 12.
Joe Pendry, the offensive coordinator of Kansas City, and Marty Schottenheimer do not want to put this offense in a position where it has to throw. In order for this offense to function properly, they got to grind it out on the ground, get everybody cheated up to the line of scrimmage, and then hit the deep play action pass. Penalties just kill that.
And this penalty sets it back down to the 47-yard line. DeBerg, an out pattern, makes the connection at the 44-yard line of the Oilers. Dishman was defending on Rob Thomas. There's been some changes on the scoreboard in other 1 o'clock games Eastern time. Pittsburgh leading at New Orleans now 3-0. Dan Marino's just thrown a touchdown pass to James Pruitt. Dolphins and Seahawks tied 10-all in the second quarter. Tampa Bay under its new coach Williamson, man who replaced Ray Perkins, is leading by a substantial margin. Cowboys looking to go to 500 at 7-7 with a win today. In command of the Cardinals. Colts just got a touchdown throw from Jeff George, and they trail the Jets 14-10. It's 10-0 here at Kansas City. The Oilers on defense with the lead. Third down throw by DeBerg, and he overshoots his man on an in pattern. Emil Harry on a crossing pattern. DeBerg has been very effective throwing a lot of short patterns, but the Oilers getting a big rush on him today. He hasn't had time.
Steve Brown was the man in coverage here, and he just throws the ball out of Emil Harry's reach. He was open for the first down. DeBerg, not good numbers to this point in the first half, Don. Not good numbers at all.
And he's not happy about it. He told us yesterday he really believes if he doesn't throw interceptions, his team won't lose. He said, I've had games where I've not thrown interceptions and we've lost, but he said rarely. Fourth punt of the day now for Brian Barker of the Chiefs. McNeil back at his 10. Barker hits a high spiral, nicely placed. McNeil forced into a fair catch at his 8-yard line. So the Oiler offense comes back out, the long field to go, but Houston in command, 10-0.
For naming the Mazda MPV best in class, we'd like to thank Car and Driver. For ranking it the most trouble-free minivan, J.D. Power & Associates. For naming it one of the top 10 import buys, Motor Trend. And for making the Mazda MPV the best-selling import minivan, we'd like to thank the Abbotts, the Ackermans, the Adisheks, the Agarans,
Mazda, it just feels right.
the Altons, the Ammermans, the
Only one antiperspirant in the world helps keep you so dry with the cool, clean scent of Old Spice. Only one deodorant in the world has so many odor-fighting ingredients with the cool, clean scent of Old Spice. There's only one Old Spice.
Thank you very much.
Hickory Farms.
It's the nicest thing that anyone's ever done for me. My delight is such.
I'm deeply touched.
I feel the joy of Christmas has begun for me.
Thanks, Mom.
At Hickory Farms, we have hundreds of delicious gifts for Christmas, all designed with one response in mind.
Thank you very much.
Hickory Farms, the gift everyone loves to get.
Thank you.
Citizen, 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 elegant citizen, citizen, elegance. Oh, his citizen, citizen, one citizen with lots of citizen, elegant, elegant, pretty elegant citizen. We've got elegance.
NBC Sports kicks off a new year with a Hall of Fame Bowl as Clemson battles Illinois. Then Louisville takes on Alabama in the Fiesta Bowl. And it's a primetime showdown of the Orange Bowl as #1 Colorado battles Notre Dame to decide the national championship. New Year's Day, NBC is the place to be.
The Oiler defense has made it tough for Steve DeBerg to throw the ball. Now Kansas City fans give the Oiler offense some trouble getting the play call. The crowd has risen up. Warren Moon sprinting out, throwing on the run. Is he a great player or what? Warren Moon with a rifle throw out to the 20-yard line. The guy is sensational.
You know, I asked him last night in our meeting, I said, can every quarterback that you know of in the NFL run this run and shoot? And he said no. He said they can run like this. He said they can run a form of it, but no, you've got to be mobile. He also said he likes the responsibility of it all on his shoulders. Again, Pearson, not a bump, very loose coverage. Jones makes the 10-yard out for a first down and an easy catch.
So Warren Moon, with the precision of a surgeon, continues to take apart a tough Kansas City defense. Now the Oilers go to the run, and the marker comes in from the umpire again. Highly probable it's offensive holding. And that is the signal from Red Cashin. The game clock is stopped with 2:45 to play in the first half.
Oh, we know it's not on the tight end.
Jack Pardee, an optimistic man yesterday.
74 on the offense, 10 yards to a first down.
Talked about that old adage, you play like you practice, and he said we had our best week. And they played like it, leading 10-0 over the favored Chiefs. Tough tough start, putting in a new offense and new defense.
Kansas City again going with 6 defensive backs, Don.
Oilers sending 3 wide receivers to the left. Lower right of your screen. Here comes Lorenzo White. Well, he can do some things, Lorenzo. That was on a 1st down and 20 play. And he dips to the outside and gets out to the 22-yard line.
Yeah, but you know, Don, this time Stan Petrie makes the tackle. But again, the true run and shoot goes with the count. The quarterback makes the count, and then he comes up with the audible call. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you got linebackers back here, so they run. They're staying true to form of the run and shoot. You count in the count zone, and that's the play you run. See, they believe that their offensive 5 linemen can block your 5 defensive players and pick up a lot of yardage.
And that play takes it down to 2 minutes to go in the first half, with the Oilers in the command of the game, 10-0.
The thirst for adventure is Michelob Dry. Refreshing beyond the ordinary. And once you've experienced the bold taste with no aftertaste, there is no going back.
He stirs in the land of dawning. He stirs now in the age of wandering. Now on the trail of beauty, he stirs.
Introducing the new Navajo from Mazda. Motor Trend's 1991 Truck of the Year.
It just feels right.
Some people think it's a great idea for you to buy a second-rate antifreeze. Not all antifreeze is the same. Nothing beats Presto. And that's something you might appreciate down the road.
Citizen, 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 elegant citizen, citizen, elegance. Oh, his citizen, citizen, one citizen with lots of citizen, elegant, elegant, perfectly elegant citizen. We've got elegance.
Today's NFL Live headlines: quarterback Jim Kelly of the Bills expects to be available for the playoffs. Will McDonough reports that Giant quarterback Phil Simms' foot injury may be more serious than first reported. And Bill Walsh says if consistent, the LA Raiders are capable of winning the championship. We'll be joining Bob, Will, O.J., and Bill Walsh at halftime with scores and highlights and an interview with Bengal coach Sam White. 2 minutes to go in the first half at Arrowhead Stadium. Oilers with the ball and a 10-0 lead. Eric Thomas was on the wrong side of the ball there.
Yeah, but see, once again, it was the late jumping into the line of scrimmage, false start against Houston. But again, the late jumping in of other defensive players ruined the count zone.
False start. Number 1 on the offense, still 2nd down.
Watch what happens here when these safeties come up. See, Warren Moon has already made the audible. But when the count zone changes, now all of a sudden he's stuck. Watch what happens. See him move up there? Now that puts too many guys at the line of scrimmage for them to block. So he moves a little bit. That's worked for Kansas City.
Not much else has. A reminder at the end of today's broadcast, McDonald's at NBC will be announcing the Ronald McDonald Children's Charities Player of the Game. Marty Schottenheimer waiting for offense, and he hopes that maybe his defense can set it up. With yet another turnover, the Chiefs have 1 Oiler turnover today. Moon fumbled when he was set.
Should throw.
On 2nd and 12, Moon gets set to put it up. Crossing pattern. Drew Hill weaving his way among the big people and gets it out to the 28-yard line. Drew Hill set on that inside receiver position on the run and shoot. You get the ball a lot. You also get pounded a lot.
Ernest Gibbons took out personal insurance with Lloyd's of London when he found out that Houston was going with a run and shoot.
The Miami Dolphins, who were behind, have now taken the lead over Seattle. Stratford scored on a short run. Kevin Mack scored for the Cleveland Browns on a 5-yard run to give them the lead over Atlanta. Oilers now set up at their 28-yard line. 3rd down and 2. Balance, run and shoot. 2 wide receivers to either side. Lone setback is White. Good pass blocking. Sidearm throw to Lorenzo White. Chris Martin makes the tackle, but it's a 1st down for the Oilers. And that might have been Moon's best throw, and he's made great ones all day.
It's absolutely amazing. He has such a mastery of this offense. He said that this is the most fun he's had in an offense. Wish they had won more, but he just watch him look around. And then the outlet is Lorenzo White. Completion for a 1st down.
So the Oilers get 4 new downs, and 59 seconds remains on the 1st half clock.
The Chiefs are proud of it.
Ho, here we go!
You're just, baby.
Zombie blitz! How you like me now, baby? Got good life insurance? All 911!
If you live near high-tension power lines and run household appliances, you stand a greater chance of getting cancer. Is electricity hazardous to your health? We'll find out on the next Today.
Kevin Gilbride, the offensive coordinator of the Houston Oilers, talking it over with Warren Moon in the 2nd half of today's NBC doubleheader. The Bengals, one of the 3 co-leaders in the AFC Central, play at the Coliseum against the LA Rams, who started this day tied with Kansas City for 1st in the AFC West. Some of you will see San Diego play the Broncos at Denver. Check your local listings. Kansas City, as you know, Trump came in with a defensive game plan of hitting Warren Moon. Got to hit the QB, but the pass blocking has been exceptional by Houston. And Warren Moon, when he's got a lot of time, takes the time. When he has none, he still makes the completion.
Yeah, he's been sacked twice, and he has been somewhat confused by the defensive fronts moving in and out of the line of scrimmage by Kansas City, but he has hit those outside guys, Duncan, Jeffries, Jones, with great regularity in this 1st half.
Warren Moon now just 87 yards short of a 300-yard game, and when he gets it, he will tie Dan Marino, who set the record of 9 300-yard games in 1984. Throw. This time the throw was right there, but the ball was stripped from Haywood Jeffires by Stan Petrie.
Jace, you know, if Lloyd Burris, 34, looks up, he might be able to make this interception. Instead, Burris goes for the big hit on Haywood Jeffires. Watch what happens when Jeffries goes inside. Now watch Burris. See, he's going for the hit. I think if he looks for the ball, he can make the interception there.
It's interesting, Trump, the 300-yard game is not as important in the win column as you might think. This year, 300-yard passers, teams that have had one have won only 48% of the time. Teams that have had 100-yard rushers have won 83% of the time. Moon throws and hits Albert Lewis, the cornerback who is defending Drew Hill. There's a player, Albert Lewis. Pro Bowl after Pro Bowl, four block punts this season.
He physically reminds me of Mike Haynes. Used to be the cornerback for the Raiders and the New England Patriots. Crossing pattern by Hill, and the stuff inside today for the run and shoots not worked. The bulk of their yardage receiving has been on the outside.
That, of course, is where the Chiefs have their best cover men. Ross and Albert Lewis, the normal starting corners, have been playing inside, defending against the inside receivers. 3rd down and 10 with 50 seconds to play in the 1st half. They go to the draw, and Neil Smith plays it nicely. Defensive end Neil Smith, a rising star at left end. He was the number 2 pick in the 1st round of the 1988 draft out of Nebraska.
Now look what happens again with the Kansas City defense. They've run people in and out of the line of scrimmage, and this last second guy at the line of scrimmage is right at the spot where the run takes place. And of course now they've got 7 guys at the line of scrimmage. They have 5 offensive linemen from Houston, can't accommodate everybody, and they stop Lorenzo White for no gain, bringing up a punt.
Second quarter, no score between Green Bay and Philadelphia. Also in the second
Sam White of the Bengals told us a couple of weeks ago, when everybody was tied then in the AFC, or 3 teams were AFC Central, that when you get right down to it and check everything out, the team to beat is the Houston Oilers. And they are really starting to rise up now. 58-point game against the Browns last week. A 10-0 lead this week.
Don, this is right where Albert Lewis has got to block a punt to get Kansas City back in the game.
Lewis is lined up. That's him to the right. Just they pick him off, though. Montgomery hits a short punt, gets a big Oiler bounce down to the 22-yard line, and there are lots of Oilers there to hit J.J. Birden, number 88.
Don, Albert Lewis gets blocked here and still almost gets to the punt. Well, that's what happens is that Bubba McDowell, 25, comes out on him, and he still almost gets to the punt. He has 10 career blocked punts, 4 this season. Chiefs have 6 on the year, and they needed 1 there and couldn't get it.
The Houston Oilers have played an exceptional game in every area of football. Offense, defense, special teams. They lead the favored Chiefs 10-0 now as DeBerg sets right up in the shotgun with just 50 seconds. 32 seconds on the clock. Throwing a catch. He gets the ball ahead to Emil Harry, and the Chiefs call a timeout. Just 1 remaining, trying to get it downfield. Kansas City, of course, has perhaps the best field goal game in the NFL with Nick Lowery. They'd like to get something up. He's made his last 14 field goal tries, Nick Lowery.
Houston go with the 6 defensive backs. You see Harry, 86, top of the screen, just in the middle of the zone. 91 Meads makes the tackle. That's the problem with this conservative offense in a 2-minute situation with 4 wide receivers. They're still better when they run the ball and use the play action. As you look at Nick Lowery get ready.
What does that do for you?
He's made 14 straight.
Put some don'ts in your do, that heavy air blower.
Yeah, well, kickers, it's either too hot for them or it's too cold. It's never just right.
Very good playing conditions. Wind not a factor. Temperature in the high 30s. Forecast of possible rain late in the day. So far it's been dry. Field is dry. DeBerg on first down. 26 seconds to go. Long ball. Man is open. It'll go for 6. J.J. Birden. It can happen fast, and the Chiefs are right back in the game.
Boy, that's that prevent defense mindset. In the last 2 minutes of a half or a game, the defensive backs have one thought in mind. Don't let anybody get behind me. And Bubba McDowell, the safety, was the closest man in coverage as Birden went by, 62 yards and a score.
You got to check that coverage, Trump. Dishman was yelling at some of the coaches.
It was not good.
Extra point is up and good. So the Chiefs, unable to generate offense, all of a sudden hit a huge play. Let's watch.
You can see Richard Johnson squats, and then Birden goes right by Bubba McDowell. That's totally on Bubba McDowell. Now he is blazing fast. Here's Birden. When this cornerback squats, the safety doesn't get out there far enough, and he just runs right by
him. Who's the quarterback covering?
Well, but that's the double rotation zone. Corner's up, safety's out. The corner was Richard Johnson. He runs right by Bubba McDowell, a track meet that Birden wins for 62 yards. That is the only thing that Kansas City could do. That's a hope shot. You can't expect to get bad coverage like that with 25 seconds to go in a half or a game. And they get it, and they take advantage of it.
So the 36-year-old quarterback, having his finest season, hits his 21st touchdown throw against just 3 interceptions. And the Chiefs unable to move the ball throughout the entire first half. hit a 62-yard scoring play with 18 seconds to go in the half. And they're right back in the game, trailing the Oilers 10-7.
You know, I got a feeling that when you play defense or offense, you got to know what's happening around you. Kansas City has just one timeout left. You know they got to try for the end zone. Bubba McDowell's got to be way, way deeper in coverage. Are we going to try something tricky here, an onside or a squib kick or something?
I think they tried that pooch kick where they don't hit it too deep. That mid-range kickoff has become so popular now. What they have is they bounce it down the field. Now Ford has the ball. Doesn't get far as he's down at the 16-yard line. Todd McNair covering. 15 seconds on the clock. Not much for Moon to work with, but it didn't take Steve DeBerg even that long to get in the end zone last time.
Well, that certainly gives life to Kansas City, doesn't it? Totally dominated offensively throughout the first half. One very poor bit of judgment on Bubba McDowell's part. Kansas City's right back after him.
And there was nothing arcane about what Birden did. He just ran the fly.
Yep, no pattern at all, just a foot race.
He won it. 10-7. Oilers with the ball in a 3-point lead. 15 seconds to go in the half. And at halftime, we go to NFL Live. Oilers go to the run and take it out to the 24-yard line. Alan Pinkett carries for the first time. So the Oilers apparently are going to be content to take their winnings, 3-point lead, go to the locker room. Marty Schottenheimer's team hitting the big play to get back in the game after the Oilers dominated on both sides of the ball through almost the entirety of the first half. So it's 10-7 at Houston over Kansas City at halftime. Now we go to New York and NFL Live. Bob?
Okay, Don, thanks a lot. Here's what we've got upcoming during the halftime report. We'll check with Will McDonough and O.J. Simpson. We'll run down all the scores, show you some highlights, and we'll have an interview with Bengals head coach Sam Weiss. Can Boomer Esiason play today at the Coliseum in L.A. against the Raiders? We'll find out after this. Okay, Houston 10, Kansas City 7 at halftime, and Steve DeBerg continues to impress, Juice.
Well, as you know, Bob, since halfway in last season, I've been a big fan of Kansas City's. If I had any reservation, it was Steve DeBerg and his ability to bring his team back, his ability to play effective football in the fourth quarter. This morning, Bill Walsh and I was talking about that. What are they going to do if they're behind? Can Steve DeBerg bring them back? Well, he had a big play at the end of the second quarter now, and if he can bring this team back, in this game, I make them co-favorites with the Buffalo Bills to go to the Super Bowl. There it is, the J.J. Birden. And that's the one knock on this team is Steve DeBerg in the fourth quarter. He's had a great year thus far, but they haven't been behind too often in the fourth quarter.
That was a 62-yard touchdown pass to Birden, changing a 10-0 deficit into 10-7. It's the 6th completion, not all of them for touchdowns, but the 6th completion of 60 yards or better for DeBerg this year. And even more tellingly, that was his 21st touchdown pass of the season. He has been intercepted the grand total of 3 times. He is having a Pro Bowl caliber season, I think it's fair to say.
But so is Warren Moon, and I think around the league, more people are watching Warren Moon and the Oilers today. He's been amassing those great statistics with this run and shoot, and people in the league are saying, are these really phony? We will find out when he gets to Kansas City, plays outdoor, the wind's blowing, it's cold. We'll find out when he gets to Cincinnati. What does he show you? He's 13 for 20 in the first half for over 200 yards, doesn't throw an interception. So he's responding to the challenge today.
Yeah, when I say he's having a Pro Bowl caliber season, I'm not saying he's the best quarterback in the conference. Assuming they took 3 quarterbacks to the Pro Bowl, I think Marino might rank 4th and not make it. The 3 in the conference would be Moon, Kelly, and probably DeBerg.
Well, the coaches back you up because in my coaches poll today, those were the 3 quarterbacks that were in the poll as the best offensive player of the year, and Dan Marino wasn't in there.
So you could have just called me and saved a lot of long-distance charges. I was sitting right next to you, a local call, right there in the hotel. And there are the quarterback ratings, and you know how complicated that system is. But for our purposes, Kelly is 1, Moon 2, and DeBerg 3, and Randall Cunningham from the NFC 4th in the league. So not only in the coaches poll, but statistically, those are the top 3.
Well, Randall will tell you he's the best, and you know why? He doesn't like this rating system because it doesn't count in all his yards running. And he says that's part of being a quarterback, is all the yards I have running, and I think he's got a point.
Vinny Testaverde did a little bit of damage running today, and we'll get to that as we go through all the scores right now. In the game you're watching, Houston with the 10-7 lead at halftime at Kansas City. Pittsburgh has the lead in New Orleans, 3-0, third quarter in the Superdome. The Saints almost had a 7-3 lead to take to the locker room, but watch what happens to them in the final seconds before halftime. Gil Fennerty fumbles the ball into the end zone. It's recovered by Pittsburgh's David Johnson for the touchback, and the 3-0 Pittsburgh lead is preserved. They, along with Houston and Cincinnati, tied for first in the AFC Central with a record of 7-6. Seattle playing at Miami. Seattle has won 3 in a row. They've got a wild card chance at 7-6. Miami trying to stay a game back of Buffalo and to take that record, which would be 11-3 if they win today, into Buffalo for the showdown next week. And of course, the Bills will be without Jim Kelly. The Dolphins would have a heck of a chance if they win that game. Even though the records would be identical, the Dolphins would have the tiebreaker because it would be their second victory over the Bills this year. But in order to set that scenario up, they've got to hold on and win this one. They've just started the third quarter. The Dolphins with the lead, 17-10 over the Seahawks. How about this? Tampa Bay with Vinny Testaverde running 49 yards for a touchdown, throwing 25 yards to Mark Carrier for another. Steve Christie with 3 field goals, all of them better than 40 yards. 23-0 Tampa Bay at home at halftime over Minnesota. It's Richard Williamson's first game as the interim head coach of the Bucs. They had last week off following the firing of Ray Perkins. Phoenix is playing at Dallas. The Cowboys trying to win their 4th in a row to even their record at 7-7. Very much alive in the NFC wildcard chase. A 20-3 lead for the Cowpokes in the third quarter at home. Indianapolis and the Jets have kicked it off to start the third quarter, and Indianapolis had scored early in this period. They take the lead. It's not at halftime. It is early in the third quarter. The Colts have the lead, 17-14. Atlanta is playing at Cleveland, and Cleveland has the lead in this one. Halftime, 10-3. They're trying to snap their 8-game losing streak. Atlanta comes in with a 6-game losing streak of their own. And before we leave, let's show you a halftime scene from the Meadowlands. The Jets brought back 35 players who either had played in the Pro Bowl or before the merger had been named All-AFL. And one of them, of course, was Broadway Joe. And this is about as fast as Joe can run these days, hobbling out there, but the big characteristic smile as he's greeted by a standing ovation from the Jet fans who remember Super Bowl III and all the glory. We'll talk with Sam Weish, the Bengals coach, when we continue at halftime right after this.
History of the New York Jets.
Okay, welcome back to NFL Live at halftime. The Bengals are in Los Angeles to face the Raiders in the second half of our NBC doubleheader today, and they may be without Boomer Esiason. We go live now to the Coliseum and join Bengal coach Sam Weish. Sam, what's Boomer's status?
Well, as we're talking right now, I really can't tell you whether he's going to be able to start or play during the course of the game. He's going to work out in the pregame warm-up. We'll see how he feels after he goes back inside. We'll actually watch him throw the ball during the early part of the the re-entry on the field during the national anthem part of the game. But it's a touch-and-go deal. He has not practiced all week. Eric Wilhelm and Todd Philcox split time 50-50 during the course of the practice week. Boomer was out here but did not move very well or very much yesterday on the day before the game practice. We're just going to have to wait and see. Our evaluation of it and our decision will come as to whether we can win with Boomer playing under these circumstances, and will he walk away from this one being able to play next week and the following week against Cleveland.
So, Sam, when you say that Wilhelm and Philcox split the practice time, does that mean that if Esiason doesn't start and Wilhelm does, we still might see Philcox during the course of the game?
Oh, absolutely. Both of these guys, we demanded of all of our quarterbacks, they have to be ready to play every snap all season long. So they've been getting ready all year long. They just haven't had the experience of game, snaps. But they have prepared themselves mentally. They're ready to play. In fact, they're both anxious to play. And we think we can win the ball game with those guys at quarterback if we have to.
Sam, your players know that the last two are probably more important than this one. How do you keep them thinking about today's game?
Well, I really don't think competitive guys, competitive professional athletes ever walk into a game saying it's not an important game or winning is not the objective of the game. So that part of it really hadn't entered into us. We've heard the commentary and the talk shows and things that have pointed out the fact that we have to win next week regardless of what happens this week. That's true. But this week's important to us because it's a game that we prepared for and we want to win it.
Sam, OJ here. In preparing to defense the Raiders, how differently do you approach them if Marcus Allen's in the game or if Bo Jackson's in the game?
Well, you really can't approach them any differently. The one thing I think you have to do is you have to approach the running game in layers. You can't go in one flank, because if they break through that flank, nobody's going to catch them from behind. Last year, it was Bo Jackson that broke the game open, and we lost the ball game by 20 points, and it was Bo's long runs. We can't let that happen, but as soon as you neglect Marcus Allen, he's going to beat you. So we got our hands full.
Sam, thanks a lot for joining us. Good luck today against the Raiders.
Thank you.
Okay, and of course, the game that Sam was referring to next week is a home game for the Bengals against Houston in their division. The Bengals